up.
Okay, cool. So now it's doing its thing.
I'll do the. Gotta get the intro in. Howdy toddy. God Almighty, it's a Sweat Equity podcast coming to you from Tocobaga Consulting office.
Oh, and you can almost have to restart that because I didn't hear the music or anything.
I don't have it set up to the mixer. I got to put it in post. So
Ah,
yeah,
damn.
yeah.
All
We
right,
don't
go
have
ahead.
this. We don't have everything set up in here.
All right, well, restart that.
This isn't no. This is a no. We're keeping it. We keep it raw in this piz.
Well, damn, man. It's the music that gets me pumping.
I know,
When
you
it's
gotta-
got
You got to play the Londoners in your head, and then it'll vibe like that. That other voice you're hearing is Damian Alpizar, creative director, owner, operator, editor, animator.
Just keep going.
How
Just
many
keep going.
designer, girthy.
Yeah, this is what happens when you're like a small business, and even though I have a partner, it's like we split hats, but at the same token, you're like, I mean, how many hats do you have?
A lot, way too many. And I've got a big head, so it's like I got to get custom hats.
Wow.
Those new eras.
We are still talking. We're not. We moved on to the.
Look at this forehead. We're on the Mevo camera right now, so it's like that's why this is a little bit different than normal. But this forehead, Peyton Manning's like, damn, bitch, that's a big forehead.
Target.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, people say that back in the day that would have been an indication of how intelligent you are.
What is that, like phrenology or something like that?
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know, but I was like, hey, yeah, dude, it's coming down out there. We're in Florida, so this happens.
Yeah,
but I would have always thought that they had the big hands, the big heads, the big everything. I always just felt really bad
for Andre the Giant.
He must have been a genius.
I mean, he only had one sling on his leotard too. That was rough. I couldn't even get two over his shoulders. So we were just doing like a kind of a post client meeting.
Yep.
And we've been meaning to get on Sweat Equity talking about a couple of things. So we're doing these mini episodes, and this one, since we just came off the heels of a lot of video, digital advertising kind of conversation, we're just like, let's knock one out. We both got to go at a couple minutes, but we got some stuff we wanted to talk about, and might as well just do it this way in increments instead of trying to do a longer hour.
Right.
But I don't know where to start, because we wanted to talk specifically more in the car dealership world because it annoys us.
It does. And there's a lot of good things that the major car brands do. But man, when it gets down to your local dealerships, it just kind of falls. Either they do it really well or they do it really bad. And there doesn't seem to be an in-between.
I've been all over the country doing stand-up in my earlier days. I've seen every kind of like car commercial around the country, and it's like they all are bad everywhere. Yeah. It's crazy. And so you and I look at that and we're like, this doesn't have to be that bad.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. That's a lot of the inertia you and I both carry for our mini hats of jobs, but our hat rack of jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's good on the fly. But it's that thing where I see a commercial where it's like, I know this dealership got ripped off by a really derivative creative company, video production company that doesn't really value creative.
Right.
And I'm not against like sending old school mailers that have gimmicky. I think those work too. So I feel like a lot of people, when they hear this conversation, if they're part of a dealership or something, because I'm going to target this video to you guys just to show you how this works.
We got to get this off our chest. We got to get it to them.
But it's that thing of like, man, I get the repetitiveness, I get all that, but we were laughing about like, can these be like serialized a little bit or targeted towards an audience a little bit better? Like, just because you're local doesn't mean it has to.
Well, what ends up happening is that, I mean, I don't know, somewhere along the line in the history of car dealership commercials, someone thought that the loud and obnoxious type of commercial style was the way to go, and they started doing that, and the world has moved on, and the dealerships in general haven't. And unfortunately, most local dealerships have to deal with the troubles of it's a highly competitive market, so they're trying to get noticed.
Yep.
And in that attempt to get noticed, they either go outlandish or they do things that really doesn't, A, build their brand, and B, get people onto the lot. Yes, people recognize the loud, obnoxious commercial here or there because it's like it's been beaten to their heads. But is it really causing is it causing the engagement that they're trying to get from their target? And that's where we sit there and we thump our heads going, man, you paid all this money to make noise. It's really what you're doing is you're making noise.
Right.
How much of your brand and message is actually getting across and is it really targeting the people that you're trying to target? But you're really making a lot of noise.
Yeah. Yeah. And in old school ways too, you hear people parroting the slogan or the noise back. That's like your only stat. Now we have stats. And it's funny you said, get them on the lot, because I tried to do a little bit of research before we talked about this on air and, trying to get our marketing package together for this. And everything I'm reading about the industry, the two things you kind of said, you've got like industry-wide, you've got more noise than ever as far as there's more brands. Everything's kind of segmented preference-wise just in general now, because there's how do you want to digest news or social media or almost anything is kind of splintered off. And then you've got disintermediation. Yeah, that's right.
Damn. See, that's that forehead at work right now.
That's the forehead. So that's like the Uber of whatever, the Airbnb of whatever. They found, why does this have to be this way? Let's take out this intermediary, and stuff like Carvana's coming up. You ever seen that? Where like you can order a car, just have it show up.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, they'll take it back. So there's stuff like that you have to compete with, because that's like bringing the lot to the house. All right. And then you've got the strategy used to be internet leads, just get as many as you can,
right,
and make that funnel really wide at the top.
Yeah, and they did that with the flyers and spending all the money on thousands of mail outs to hopefully, pull in a few.
So like everything now is more about, everything I read in the research I did on the digital marketing side is quality over quantity. You want a quality person to step foot on the lot. So anything advertising wise we talk about is like, get them through the doorway. That's your threshold. The rest is on you.
Right.
We're going to try to bring quality leads in. So here's some stats. Ready? 40% of walk-in customers buy that same day if they're a quality lead. And 70% do so within 72 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. They're ready to buy because they've done the research. So cars.com says 43% of shoppers don't contact a dealership before they visit one. So that means your digital lot, your website, needs to be fast for mobile. It has to load in under 3 seconds. So nerd stuff like that you need. But you also need to lead the right person there. We can target by income, by brand. If they have the current brand, they want to buy another brand. Some people are more likely, and the better the car gets, the more likely you are to be brand loyal.
Right.
So there's cool shit like that. And then transparency. I mean, I can keep going. I feel like you had. You had something.
Do you? No. I'm intrigued because I did not do this research. My research is all on the getting them to the door part, but you actually have stats beyond that.
Well, it's like we were talking about. You have to have the creative and the technical side marry each other, and then it's going to be like a scissor.
That's why we make such a great couple.
Oh yeah. We'd make cute like white Cuban babies.
Yeah, totally. Both of our women are like, what the?
Here's your other dad, nerdy Manny Ramirez. So 63% of auto shoppers still were researching dealerships after walking on a dealer's lot, and more than half of those visited additional dealerships based on what they found on their mobile devices.
So what that basically breaks down to is basically what happened when I was on the lot last time. I'm looking at a car, I'm checking out its price, and then I'm on my phone while, the salesperson is someplace else, and I'm checking out like, okay, well, what does this other lot have this same car for?
Yep.
What is this going on? And then even if they had a better price, it was a matter of like, okay, well, I did my research before I got the car. So what you're telling me is kind of like, oh, wow, I kind of just went through that, which is kind of fascinating. I did my research before I got the car. I knew what kind of car I wanted, but then it became a matter of the culture and like where would I go and where would I feel comfortable, what sites did I go to, what was offering what. And you're right. By the time I walked on the lot, I kind of already knew what I wanted, and it became a fact of what brought me to that lot in particular, and then what happened after I was there. But there was a lot of research and stuff that goes into it before I even walked onto that lot.
Yeah, and so what you're getting to is now transparency matters. You need a frequent message, you need a consistent one. But now, if you can be more transparent as a local business, it's still an industry that people don't trust.
Yeah,
the consumer doesn't trust naturally, so you're always going in with skeptics. If you can build this loyalty within your employees in a message projected out too, so your employees buy into it, everybody that's in the admin side, the financing side, and the sales side, they all have a good attitude, Chick-fil-A style. That's more internal branding to me, but it will bleed out everywhere. And then the other part is if you do a consistent message, using behind the scenes stuff with people there via social media ads or something like that, it will build that loyalty to like, oh, I feel like I kind of know these people after a while.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm going to walk into any particular lot, I mean, one of the things who's that amateur with the phone still turned up?
I'll throw another thing. Another thing I found that was interesting was it's hard to track leads consistently data-wise for lots a little bit because it's skewed depending on inventory. So inventory can adjust promotion. The reason I think this is interesting is because we can work creatives on the fly, or we can have inventory style creative ads ready to go.
Creative stores end of the year, creative stores mid-year, creative stores, things of that nature that are specific for times when inventory may be higher and or lower.
Right. So you send us a Slack message and it's like, hey, we have to switch gears on a dime. Mm-hmm. All right, flip this other campaign on. Cool, we've already got it shot because we already thought about it in pre-production. You know?
And I think that's another thing. When you were touching on the consistency and the trust part. When you look at standard marketing methods that are used currently by local car lots, they're using the commercial, which has a broad message. They're using the flyers, which has, again, a broad message. And they're casting this very, very wide net. They're not really conveying messages or making messages that are, A, frequent enough, mm-hmm. and B, specific enough for it's almost better to have 10 very specific messages that will reach 10 very qualified buyers than one broad message that you may send out to 1,000 seekers, not mm-hmm. even buyers. They're seekers. They may be interested, but they're not a qualified buyer. So, and that's really one of the beautiful things about that. What you were talking about, building that culture, that can come from almost anybody on the lot. That can come from your sales reps to your sales managers to anybody else on the lot to even customers who've been on the lot and just like they're sharing their experience and things of that nature. Yeah,
we've talked about this. Employee hiring for the lots as well can be done through online advertising and good creatives. We've already worked on projects where we go, hey, we can try to make this funny and I'll get to the funny part, why that's important on the creative side. Funny and like show why this is a great place to work. Mm-hmm. And we go
show the corporate culture.
Yeah. Oh, you can move from whatever the grunt is at a dealership all the way to this because this guy did it.
Wash boy, detail boy.
Sure.
Nothing against wash boys or detail boys. We need you guys.
There's a career path. I think people care about that because more people are jumping around jobs and it's a freelancer society for everybody under 35 now. But it doesn't mean they may want to do different jobs within the organization, or at least have a pathway. Yeah.
You go from detailing cars to sales to finances to all of a sudden, lot manager or something like that. Lot manager is not a proper term, I don't think. But
so also day parting ads as the other part of the time inventory matters, where we can go if we know it's going to be rainy mm-hmm. For the next 7 days, we can slow down that ad spend. day to day, because there's not going to be as many people.
Or ramp it up for those 24 to 72 hours that you mentioned earlier.
Yep. So promotion times.
Yeah, retargeting and things of that.
And I'm excited to look at like Hulu and Spotify and Pandora as other avenues that are kind of somewhere in between.
Someone's checking out a Fast and the Furious on Hulu or Amazon, and boom.
Well, you have to get the frequency of that consistent message across like 8 different platforms, and that's across of devices now. So the way people digest stuff is totally different. But if you have,
how many people do you think are on? This is I know you didn't have a chance to look this up, but I'm putting you on the spot. If you had to guess,
I hope I know it.
I know, right? If you had to guess, mobile searches versus web searches versus people actually watching commercials on TV, percentage-wise, which one do you think wins in that race?
What do you mean? Just people straight up going to Google?
Yeah, people on Google on their
Bing,
social media just
defaulted,
just on their phone versus on their computer versus on actually watching. Like, I haven't seen a commercial on TV in forever.
Oh well, you probably cut cable, right?
Yeah, I did.
So, there's going to be more platforms. I bring Hulu up because it's interesting. It's the hard part about like cable advertising is you usually have to do the metro area or like a city, and you don't really get reliable stats back. The reason Hulu's interesting is because like a lot of people can get the discounted version of Hulu, but I can do it by zip code, and I could tell this before I even looked it up that the political ads, when those were going around, when Daddy Trump won, that I've never called him that, but you could tell they're segmenting it per area, and I could tell when I was going to other people's houses and stuff, and we're watching something. So, to answer your question, mobile search versus desktop search, I can give you that. It's going to be about 70-80% of your traffic now. Mobile is interesting because it's like a low jack. You can sometimes tell where they're looking at this stuff.
Yeah, so if someone's on your lot, you could tell that they're searching for stuff on your lot or around the corner or down the block or whatever.
And it's usually more personal because you don't let a lot of people use your phone. So when you retarget that person, you're closer to 30% of getting that lead back. So, the other part of that is, so you said desktop versus mobile versus
television.
TV,
broadcast. Good old-fashioned cable. Can't even say rabbit ears anymore, but I'm saying just a good old-fashioned cable.
So I don't know if you completely throw away cable.
No,
but segment it to the channels that it needs to be on if you can.
Right.
Or maybe just supplement that by other traditional means. So, it kind of goes by, are we going target audience? Because if we're going 35 and under target audience, you're a used car lot, or you're a place that sells like, all right, if you're selling a lot of like Honda Civics, I feel like that was the chick car.
Right.
For like every chick I knew had one at some point. So Honda Civic, we're going target audience first in this idea, and then we're going to go to the platforms that matter to them. We're definitely hitting Pinterest. I want some Pinterest ads all over that spot. Instagram as well, because those are the lifestyle platforms. And then that would be that it's either like, do you go campaign first and then figure it out? Do you go objective, which is a promotion, overall promotion, or do you just try to segment a target audience? That's kind of why this takes me a minute to kind of like explain.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, those are 3 approaches to the same thing.
Yeah.
I think all 3 of them are probably because of that. Because we can look at it. We can look at our product, which is a Civic in this particular case. We can look at our product. We can look at our demographic, and then we can immediately identify some of the platforms that we want to hit them on, and then make the creative seem far more specific, far more targeted.
Yeah.
To then qualify our audience.
Yep.
So that way when they're on our lot, at our door, they are then, hey, you have the demo, you're the right person, I've got the car, here you are. Now everything is up to the person on the lot, of course, but we've got them there because we were in the right place with the right demo on their platform, in their phones, and
it's an easier sell if you have everything listed online, up to date, and you post. That's good organic content, is posting what's available, what just came on the lot. That kind of stuff is great too, as like social media fodder. But the funny part I wanted to get back to is if we can make them witty. Like Geico does a good job of making those interstitial YouTube ads. They're you got 5 seconds or whatever before you can skip to that younger demo. But if you can, they can make it funny in 5 seconds. I feel like we can too. Funny gets shared on social media, so you don't really share that on YouTube because it's not it's somewhere between social media and pay-per-click kind of area. But social media wise, if you make consistent, funny, digital ads, those are the things that get shared. That's the organic reach. That means you get to spend less on ad spend online. So, all right, we got to close it out because we got to get on a call.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for listening. More when it happens.
I'll see you.
You got to hit that
button. This
red,
is where you
red
edit.
Button.
This is what you edit out. Guys.